Hello everyone, Sunny here, and today I'm going to be showing you some of the best Photoshop shortcuts of 2017. So without further ado, let's get right into it with number 1. This is Ctrl T. Now this command is the transform option. If you select anything in Photoshop and then hit Ctrl T, you can drag it around and resize it along with your project. If you're trying to resize it but keep the scale, you can always hold shift while doing it. This will keep its original aspect ratio. Number 2 is with your brush. If you hit the 2 bracket keys next to your slash icon, you can increase the size of your brush and decrease it. Here I'm increasing my brush size and here I'm decreasing it. Up on number 3 are the shortcuts for my most commonly used tools. This includes V for move tool, L for lasso tool, C for crop tool, J for the spot healing brush, B for the brush tool, T for the text tool, and A for the path selection tool. Number 4 on our list is not really a shortcut, but it's something that will greatly increase your productivity. Whenever you're trying to change the color of something, for instance here, I'm trying to change the color of my text, and you click the color icon, the color code is automatically selected. So when you first open the color box, you can immediately hit Command C and Command V to paste your color codes without having to select them and delete them. This is something that I just find really useful, and it's really good if you know it from the beginning of Photoshop. Now for number 5 is enabling your scroll zoom. I'm currently zooming all over the place in my project with my scroll wheel. This can easily be done by going into Edit, Preferences, General, and then it should be in the Tools category. Here I have Zoom with Scroll Wheel checked, and if you do have that, you can zoom all over your project without having to use the Command and plus icons on your keyboard, which is a pain. For number 6, you can press Ctrl 0 while zoomed out of your project or zoomed in, and it will automatically fit it exactly to your window. This is really useful when you're working up close and then you want to zoom out, you can just hit Ctrl or Command 0. Number 7 is if you press the numbers from 1 all the way to 0, it edits your tool opacity. For instance, if I go to my brush tool here on a new layer, I am currently pressing 2 on my keyboard, which makes my opacity 20, 4 on my keyboard, which makes it 40. Or if you press the numbers really quick, you can set it to stuff like 45. This is achieved by pressing 4 really quick and then 5 straight after. For number 8, you can press Tab to remove all the windows that you currently have open and only see your project. Now you can still select other tools, but this can only be with the shortcuts on your keyboard. This is why shortcuts are very important for Photoshop, especially for quick accessing things. For number 9, we have filling the background. Here, if I make a new layer, I can hit Alt Backspace and it fills my foreground, and Control Backspace and it fills my background. I commonly use filling up stuff in a lot of my projects, so it's just really handy having this option that you can quickly fill your background without having to switch between your 2 palettes. For number 10, I have Ctrl J to make a new layer via your copy. Here I have layer 2 selected, and if I hit Ctrl J, it makes a copy. Or if you hit Ctrl Shift J, it will make a copy via the cut, which is if I have something selected, I can just cut that immediately into a new copy. Here on my layer 2 copy, I have made something, then I can hit Ctrl Shift J and it immediately takes that out of this and puts it onto a new layer. For number 11, I have Ctrl and D. Now what this shortcut does is it deselects everything. For instance, if I make a new layer and I want to make a really weird and rough copy around this, if I hit Ctrl D, it deselects my line. I use this a lot for times when I want to select something, but then I either make my selection wrong or I'm not happy with it. Then I can just hit Ctrl D and I can redo my selection. For number 12, you can have your brush tool out with B on your keyboard, and then while holding Alt on your keyboard, you can select a color. For instance, here I want to select this orangey color and it automatically goes to my foreground color. Number 13 is Ctrl R to add rulers. This is really useful for when you're trying to line up stuff. Here, I just press Ctrl R and these rulers pop up. what you can do is if you select one of the rulers and then drag out from them, you can actually drag an actual ruler down. This will always stay in exactly the same place on your project, but this is just really useful when you're trying to line up stuff, for instance the edges of text. Now for number 14 we have Control H, which hides the selection. This also hides any rulers. Here I'm pressing Control H and then Control H again to hide and make the rulers visible. And for number 15, the last shortcut for this video, we have the spacebar. Now if you're zoomed up in your project and you want to move and you don't always want to come back to your hand tool with H and you just want to really quickly move to somewhere else, you can just equip anything and then just press spacebar. If you hold in spacebar then click, you can move around, but if you let go of spacebar you go back to your normal tool. This is what I always use to move around any project for that matter. Like if this video helped you, comment if you know any other great shortcuts or tips for Photoshop or Premiere, and subscribe to keep up with the latest. My name is Sunny and thanks for watching.